we're going to draw a picture down here. I'm pretending it's like a calculator screen. And let's say I had a quadratic. And then let's say I had a line, okay? And let's just pretend that this intersection was the point 2, 1. And this was the intersection -3, -0.5. Okay. What do you think the solutions for those two? I could make an equation that represented the parabola and an equation that represented the line. What do you think the solutions would be? Turn and talk to the person next to you. Make a guess. What do you think if I gave you that information and I said, hey, find the solutions of the equations in that graph? What do you think the answer to that question would be? Okay, what did we say? Skylar, give me one. You don't know? Bree, give me one. Guess. So she said a -3. Now here's the deal. What do we do with the y coordinate? The y, typically if I'm solving an equation, I'm going to have x values, like, right? And typically I solve for x. So on these, first of all, the solutions are where the graphs intersect. So that's the first thing I need you to know today. The second thing I know is that we're going to list the x values, because typically what we're doing is we're solving for x. Got it? So in this case, this would be exact x equals -3 and x equals 2. Those would be the solutions. What that means is if you put them into both equations, you would get the same y value. But on a graph, it's where the graphs intersect. So what happens if graphs don't intersect? It's possible graphs don't intersect. Then that would be an example of something that had no solution, right? Okay. So I'm recording notes, but I don't know that this is going to record because now I'm going to hop over to Desmos. So what I need you guys to do, you can even have one laptop between the two of you, or you can both have a laptop out. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and switch gears. And you're going to just type in desmos.com and something should pop up. We're going to do the graphing calculator. So it should look like that. Don't put your notes away because we're going to write something down in your notes regarding that. Okay, so once you get Desmos up, what I'm going to have you write down in your notebook is the equation we're going to solve. So we're going to solve the absolute value of x minus 4 equals 1/2 x plus 1 by graphing. So I'll give you a minute to write that down. Okay. Are you ready to go? I don't want to go too fast. Okay. Then what we're going to do for Desmos, come on. You got to type, I think you have to, you might not have to type in y equals, but what this really means is these are both y equals equations. We're going to use, or we're going to put in the absolute value equation. And if you click on the bottom left corner here, it should bring up a bunch of math value or things that you could type in, like x squareds are in there. There's that absolute value, and then we're going to put in x minus 4. Oops. Okay. Now, take that off. I hope it doesn't come, I hope this graph is not a surprise to you, because have we been studying absolute value? Okay. All right. Moved right forward. But again, this is using Desmos to do this. All right. What you're going to do next is on the other side of the equation, you're going to take that and you're going to make it as a y equals on a second line, and then you're going to get that graph. So y equals, for 1/2, you can just use the slash. It will automatically put it in there. You do have to move the arrow key over, and then we have +1. All right. So I'm just going to make sure we're all in a good spot and we're all having it. That way, if somebody needs some help, but that's what your graphs should look like. The x, actually, before the okay. All right. Okay, now here's when we do tomorrow, you're not going to like me very much, but I do have to teach you the graphing calculator too. The graphing calculator, you have to press buttons to find where things intersect, and it is my job to teach you that. We will. It's going to take a little bit longer. So if you have a graphing calculator, raise your hand a minute if you have one. Good. I'm going to bring a bunch tomorrow too. If you have one, bring it tomorrow. So we can drag, first of all, we can just drag the screen where we want it, and then take your cursor, and it should, can you put that up there? Do you see that? The intersection is 10, 6. Can you find the other one for me? Two, 2, 10, 6. Are we good with that? Okay. What do I want on your homework today? Well, once you have that problem written down, you're going to just do a nice tiny little sketch of your screen. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Okay, and then you're going to just list your solutions. X equals what? Was one of them 10? Yep, don't list the y. The y, if you want to write the intersection, you can, but I just want the solutions. And then the other one was x equals 2. Okay, are we good? Here's, I'm going to have you guys try one on your own a second, just to make sure you can do it. These ones are not going to be perfect. These ones are going to be approximates. Okay, so we're going to solve x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals x minus 2 by graphing. Would you try that one, please? These ones are going to be decimal values. Good. Draw your graph on your paper, please. Let's see what's going on. Are you raising that? Okay. You can't do it like this, you have to do it like this. So you're going to that's this, and now all of this up. But I'm not going to click. I'm going to let it intersect. No, you're not doing it. No, you're doing it now. Get your Desmos out. Okay, then you go back to one back there and start charge. I bet can charge it for you. Jude, you got it. I'm trying to help you here. Borrow a charger. Somebody got a charger. Anybody have a Chromebook charger? They're in the back. In the back. Okay, some of you asked, do you have to have the y equals there? It looks like you don't have to on these ones, but that would be what the equation would be, okay? All right, is this looking like what you got? And so on this one, I'm going to jot these down before I forget. 4.303, 0.697. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw our little picture. I got to go back and look. Something like that. And there's a symbol that means approximately. It's like a squiggly. That just means approximate answers. Okay, so that would be my expectation for today. That's it. Any questions? Okay, good. I want to